In this lecture, we will compare RabbitMQ with other popular messaging systems such as Apache Kafka, RedPanda, and others, highlighting their differences, use cases, and why you might choose one over the other for your system. RabbitMQ is a widely used message broker, but there are other tools available that offer similar functionality with different strengths and weaknesses. Understanding how RabbitMQ compares to these tools can help you make the right decision for your application's messaging needs. Apache Kafka is a distributed event streaming platform primarily used for building real-time data pipelines and streaming applications. Kafka is optimized for handling high-throughput distributed data streams. First factor that we are going to base our comparison on between RabbitMQ and Kafka is message delivery. RabbitMQ uses message queues where messages are pushed from producers and consumed by consumers in a point-to-point or publish-subscribe fashion. It ensures at least once delivery and durability. Kafka uses topic-based publish-subscribe semantics, but it does not delete messages after consumption. Kafka stores messages for a configurable retention period, and consumers can replay messages at any time within that period. Next, we come to use case focus. RabbitMQ is best for real-time message broking, queuing tasks, and decoupling microservices. It excels in scenarios where message routing flexibility, reliability, and acknowledgement are important. Kafka is primarily designed for high-throughput distributed streaming and event-based applications. It's excellent for logging, event sourcing, real-time analytics, and processing large-scale data streams. Now coming to throughput, while RabbitMQ is scalable, its throughput is lower compared to Kafka. RabbitMQ's disk-based operations and focus on reliability come with performance trade-offs. On the other hand, Kafka is built for high throughput and can handle millions of messages per second with low latency. In terms of message durability, RabbitMQ messages can be made persistent, but if messages are not acknowledged or consumers fail to consume them in time, RabbitMQ will try to redeliver messages, ensuring reliable delivery. Kafka retains messages for a defined period regardless of whether they are consumed or not, making it more suitable for use cases where you need to replay events or messages over time. And when it comes to scaling, RabbitMQ can scale horizontally using clustering and federation, but scaling for very high throughput can be challenging. While on the other hand, Kafka is designed for horizontal scaling from the ground up with partitioned topics that allow distributed storage and processing. RabbitMQ implements AMQP protocol but also supports other protocols like STOMP, MQTT, and HTTP. Kafka primarily uses its own Kafka protocol for communication between producers and consumers, making it less flexible in terms of cross-platform messaging protocols compared to RabbitMQ. So how do we decide when to choose RabbitMQ or Kafka? Well, you can choose RabbitMQ when you need message acknowledgement and reliable delivery. You need to support multiple messaging protocols, or if you are handling traditional task queues or RPC-style messaging. Your system has low to medium throughput and requires message routing and fine-grained control over message delivery. And you can choose Kafka when you need to process large-scale real-time data streams with high throughput, or if you require event sourcing or long-term message retention. Choosing Kafka is also wise if you want to implement distributed log-based architectures and need to replay or process past events. And scalability is a critical requirement for you. Now let's come to RedPanda. RedPanda is a high-performance Kafka-compatible event streaming platform. It is designed to provide low latency and high-throughput messaging in a simplified manner compared to Kafka. Now let's start comparing them. So first point is performance. RabbitMQ is known for its reliability and flexibility but may face performance bottlenecks in high throughput scenarios due to disk input-output and other overhead. RedPanda is optimized for performance, providing low latency and high throughput messaging. It is designed to use modern hardware more efficiently, especially for write-heavy workloads. Next point is compatibility with Kafka. So RabbitMQ is not compatible with Kafka's protocol. However, it supports multiple protocols including AMQP, MQTT, STOMP, and HTTP. But RedPanda is Kafka compatible, which means that it supports Kafka's client libraries and APIs. If you are familiar with Kafka, RedPanda allows for an easy migration or integration. RabbitMQ provides a rich management interface and supports clustering, but its operational complexity increases when scaling horizontally. RedPanda is designed to be simpler to manage compared to Kafka. It doesn't require Zookeeper, which is used in Kafka for coordination, and it provides a simplified deployment process. For storage, RabbitMQ relies on disk-based storage for persistent messages, and its message storage model is designed for reliability rather than raw performance. RedPanda uses an optimized log-structured storage model. It's designed for faster data ingestion, which gives it better performance when handling high-throughput workloads. Again, let's see how we can decide when to choose RabbitMQ versus RedPanda. You can choose RabbitMQ when you need advanced message routing capabilities such as fan-out, direct, topic, and headers exchanges. Or if you need to support multiple messaging protocols such as AMQP, MQTT, or STOMP. And finally, you can choose RabbitMQ if you have requirements for reliable message delivery with guaranteed acknowledgement and durable queues. Alright, so now let's come to RedPanda. You can choose RedPanda when you need Kafka-compatible streaming but with lower latency and higher performance. Choose RedPanda if you want simplified operations and don't want to deal with Zookeeper. And if you have high throughput requirements for event streaming and need to handle large-scale low-latency workloads. Finally, let's compare RabbitMQ and ActiveMQ. Apache ActiveMQ is a message broker that supports JMS, Java Message Service, and other protocols like AMQP, MQTT, and STOMP. It's designed for high-throughput messaging and message queuing. So now let's go over the key differences. RabbitMQ primarily supports AMQP and can also handle STOMP, MQTT, and other protocols. ActiveMQ supports JMS, AMQP, STOMP, MQTT, and other protocols, and it is more Java-centric with strong integration into the Java enterprise ecosystem. When it comes to performance, RabbitMQ is known for its reliability and flexibility. RabbitMQ has a relatively low throughput compared to Kafka and ActiveMQ, but it excels in task queuing and job dispatch scenarios. ActiveMQ provides high throughput with low latency similar to RabbitMQ, but it is often considered to have a more complex setup and configuration. Now when it comes to scaling, clustering in RabbitMQ can be complex to manage at scale. However, RabbitMQ supports federation and sharding for horizontal scaling. ActiveMQ supports master-slave clustering and network of brokers configuration, but scaling is often considered more complicated than RabbitMQ's federation. So if you need to make a choice between RabbitMQ and ActiveMQ, choose RabbitMQ if you need flexibility in messaging protocols and advanced message routing, for example, routing based on headers, topics, etc. Or if you want to implement task queues and workload distribution with high reliability. Choose ActiveMQ if you are working in a Java-centric ecosystem and need JMS support, or if you require high throughput and your system's architecture aligns well with ActiveMQ's messaging patterns. In conclusion, while RabbitMQ, Kafka, RedPanda, and ActiveMQ all serve the same core purpose of message brokering, they cater to different needs. Choosing between these tools depends on your system's architecture, throughput needs, messaging patterns, and scalability requirements.